this is the MicroBASemblyVideo5 plate amplifier system. This is the one we just built in videos. And this is the one that's running the system that we have in our bedroom. It lives inside this speaker here. You can see the other one over there. This is Jeff Bagby's Quarks, which is about the smallest speaker that I've ever seen that has a real woofer and tweeter in it. It's a very tiny cabinet, but it still fits in there. And for the subwoofer section down there is a Paul Carmody voxel subwoofer. Not much bigger than a loaf of bread. It uses the Tang Band 5 1/4 inch, I think, subwoofer in a small ported box. And this room is pretty big. It's I'd say 13 by 17 or 18. It's our master bedroom, and it fills the room with sound. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. I'm not sure how the quality of the sound comes across on a camcorder, but I'll crank it up some. I'll turn the bass down so you can hear how that drops off. It's not the most powerful sound stereo system in the world, and it isn't the most powerful amp, but it's a really good combination for a small set of speakers like this, because this is 4 inches by 4 inches. This will fit in almost anything. So first of all, thanks a lot for watching the videos if you were able to stay awake through them. I really tried hard to hit the major points that would be a little difficult for construction. For somebody who hadn't done it before. I built a bunch of these. There's one over here, there's one here, the one we just made, there's this one. I've got a couple others floating around and some prototypes in various stages of development. I fried a couple of these boards. In the instructions it says for the subwoofer to take that little 3-pin connector, pry it off. Well, the first time I did it, I unsoldered it and I kind of fried one of the boards. It never sounded quite right after that. I've broken a couple of switches, I've melted a few things. So there's a few things that I wanted to mention. First of all, things to be careful for. The power switch. I'm going to supply somewhere, there'll be a link, or you'll be able to get information as far as what parts to buy. I bought all the parts from Parts Express except for the power supply. I got that from, I think, Amazon. Stick with 16 volts. Try to get at least 4 or 5 amps if you can. I was able to find this 16 volt 4.5 amp power supply on Amazon with shipping included for like $8 or something like that, even less than that. I don't know if you can get it quite that cheap, but they're for about $10, $12 you should be able to get a good 16 volt 4 or 5 amp supply, and that's kind of what you want for this. It'll take up to 18 volts. If you go full 18 volts, you might get into trouble with with 4 amp speakers. I've run my MicroB amp with 4 amp speakers for almost a year and it hasn't even gotten warm. I've actually put the infrared thermometer on the heatsink when it was running full volume for like an hour, and it was 15-20 degrees tops, warmer than everything else. So it really doesn't get warm. If you were to go up to 18 volts though, you might get into some problems. I don't know if the board would shut down or what would happen. It might just fry. I don't know how good the protection circuit is in this thing, if it even has one. But couple things I wanted to mention: the on-off switch. Buy 2 of those. I've made 6 or 7 of these things. I've broken 2 of these switches already. It's a real beefy, big, heavy metal switch, and it operates fine, but the back of it's a little bit fragile. Even I think in the videos I left in there, I busted one just clipping the excess wire off of it. It's just there. And see, congratulations, I just completely broke that switch. So I gotta redo that whole thing. Darn it. That's no good, that's no fun. I don't want to say fragile, but it almost is. But it's the right switch for the job because it's small, and Parts Express has it. I try to order everything from them. I mean, you could order the switch from someplace else that might be a little better, but you might spend $5 for shipping, so they're just a couple bucks. Order another one. The on-off switch, order 2 of them. And the signal input switch, the 3.5 millimeter right here. That one is tiny. There's 3 leads on it for stereo to get the input signal. And if you put the heat on there for just a second or two too long, you'll feel the terminal that you're soldering to just get mushy and turn to limp spaghetti, and then it's ruined. So I've done that once too. So I'm pretty careful, and I still melted one. So buy a couple of those. So of all the parts that you order, I would say buy 2 on-off switches and buy 2 3.5mm 1/8" stereo input jack. Buy 2 of those as well. Everything else is pretty easy to deal with. I didn't record everything in the videos because I think YouTube has a 15-minute limit, and it's really, actually I found it difficult to condense everything down to 15 minutes for each step. I didn't want it to take too long, so I tried to go as fast as I could. But basically, it's not too bad to do. You just got to make sure that keep the thing protected with tape. I know I said that a bajillion times, but it'll really look nice. I mean, I don't know if the light's so good, but I think that really looks sharp. All it needs is like a couple of white letters here and there describing what everything is, and you can, I'd pay, I don't know, 50, 60 bucks for this maybe, if it really worked good. You're going to have probably maybe $40 or so into it, not counting the power supply. And if you have one laying around, that's fine. As far as the DC input jack's concerned, you're going to want to match that up to whatever power supply you end up buying. I didn't get mine from Parts Express, like I said. They didn't have one 16 volts with the amperage that I wanted. Maybe they will in the future, I don't know. But for now, I had to get it from someplace else. It's 4 inches by 4 inches is the dimensions. The cutout's about 3 inches by 3 inches. It comes with screws to mount this in when you buy the plate, the aluminum plate. It comes with 4 screws to mount it. It looks real nice. It already has a foam gasket on it, so it'll seal up real nice. It's real sturdy. It's almost an inch. It's almost 1/8 of an inch thick. They did a beautiful job on it. So this thing will fit in almost any speaker. It'll give you probably 10 or 12 watts per channel of honest to goodness clean, half decent clean before it gets ugly. And probably a good 20, 22, 24 watts for the sub before that starts getting squirrely too. But that's enough for a small set of speakers, for a set of desktop speakers or computer speakers, or like I showed you in my bedroom. It gets way louder than I wanted in there, and that's all it is. So the knobs, I think I linked to the knobs earlier, but they're not even $1 each, and they actually have a screw-in terminal so you can tighten them. These are gold. They sell silver ones too. That probably would match up better. This plate here also is sold as a silver plate if you prefer that, or if for some reason you just want to go in a lighter color. But that's the MicroB 2.1 plate amplifier. I'm hoping some more people build this because it's really a pretty cool little project. It's going to take you probably 2.5 to maybe 3 hours to do it. I printed out instructions. Follow the instructions. If you follow the instructions, you really can't go wrong because everything's really clearly spelled out. The color wires, I mean, they're really close-up pictures, and it really makes it clear as far as what to do, how long to cut the wires, what size wires, everything. The videos are just there maybe to help explain things a little bit in the show, that it's really not that hard to do. It took me forever to do this with the cameras. I always felt like I was in the way of the camera, and I probably really was. It's very difficult to do. I could do a much better job if I didn't have to worry about that camera in my elbow. Things, I noticed the work I did wasn't nearly as nice as it usually is, but I'll blame the cameras and trying to be out of the way of the cameras for that. But it's a really good amp project. If you've got the inclination to do a little bit of do-it-yourself, and you don't mind, spending 2 or 3 hours to build something like this, you'll have something pretty cool when you can say you build it yourself. So, thanks a lot for watching. If you build it, have fun and good luck. I live at the Parts Express Tech Talk board, and my name's Tom Z on there. So if you do a search for MicroB or Tom Z or anything like that, just put a question up there about the MicroB plate amp. I'm sure I'll find it if you get into trouble. I'll try to help as much as I can, and so hope you build it. Thank you. For a PDF of the MicroB 2.1 plate amplifier instructions as well as a template that you can use to punch out the holes for the metal plate, visit Parts Express. That's parts-express.com, and visit the Tech Talk forum. There'll be like 4 or 5 or 6 different forums. The one at the top, the general Tech Talk forum, that's where I'm usually at. My name is Tom Z, T-O-M-Z. If you do a search for that, or just like poke around, and you'll see some things that I've commented on or something. If you look at one of my posts, go down to the bottom. There's a signature there with clickable hypertext links to different videos that I've made for veneering and bending wood and stuff like that, as well as these videos for the MicroB plate amp. And there should be something there for that you can click on where you can download or take you right to a PDF of the instructions for this. That would really be the best place to find it. But listen, this is not a kit by Parts Express. It's not even a kit by me. This is just a project I did. I'm posting up there for the benefit of everyone. You have to use common sense, and if you don't have any experience soldering or messing around with electrical stuff, get some help or some advice from somebody that knows what they're doing a little bit before you burn your house down. But I put this together, doing it the way I outlined in the videos, and I've made a bunch of them, and I haven't had any problems with any of them. But like I say, you got to use your head and be careful. But if you're inclined, give it a shot. It's a really nice amp, and I think you'll like it. Thank you very much.